Hello, and welcome to my website. Thank you for visiting. This video is going to further explain alimony in terms of what does the court look at, or what does the Maryland court or the judge, when you go to court, if you can't agree on what's going to happen, what does a judge look at to determine how long and how much alimony should be paid, if any alimony is to be paid in a particular case. In Maryland, we have what's called an alimony statute. It's located in what we call the family law article, which is a bunch of rules that was put forth by the legislature many years ago, and we look at those rules. And in Maryland, we have, I say in Maryland because all of this is Maryland because I'm a Maryland attorney, but I'm used to saying that, and I apologize for that. But everything I say is Maryland law because that's where we are. And all states are different, so just because something might be true in this state, it might be different in another state. We have a statute that sets forth 11 factors that the court will consider, and if that's not enough, there's something else that says, or anything else that the judge might want to consider. What are those factors that the court considers to determine whether or not it's going to be rehabilitative or indefinite alimony, and for how long and how much? Well, they consider the age of the parties. They consider the health of the parties. They consider the education and the work experience of the parties. They, of course, consider how much money they make, or if they're not making a lot of money and have the ability to make more money, they consider that. They consider how long the people have been married. The longer you've been married, the more likely it is that it's going to be an alimony case. Generally, there's not alimony in a very short marriage. If parties are making the same amount of money, it's generally not going to be an alimony case. They consider, and this is true for property as well, and this is a huge thing that people ask about when they come in, and what we fight about in court is cause of the breakup. Question is, if one person causes the breakup, husband comes in and says, my wife, she doesn't make any money, but she went out and had an affair. Why should I have to give her any money? Well, how is that handled in court? Cause of the breakup, if you can prove that was the cause of the breakup, is something a judge can consider as one of the 11 factors, and the judge can give it any weight he or she wants to give it. Very discretionary. There's no clear-cut answers. It's relevant, but just because somebody had an affair or destroyed the marriage doesn't mean they don't have to get alimony or don't have to pay more alimony. It's all considered with all the other factors. There's other considerations that the court has to take into consideration too. Total property rights of the parties. One person has $2 million in inherited property. They don't have any income, they got $2 million that they inherited or something like that. Is that a factor in terms of alimony? Sure it is, because you have the ability, perhaps, to pay alimony out of that money, even though you might be choosing not to work. Debts that you have. What kind of debt do you have? Do you have to pay back? Do you have to pay student loans? Are you paying other debts that you've incurred on behalf of your children or something like that? So when determining alimony, the court has this structure, this statute that it looks at. When I say the court, I mean a particular judge. We always try to resolve these cases beforehand, so when you come to my office and we talk about it, in my mind I'm going through these factors and we're discussing, what is important, what's not important. Based on all these factors and the experience of an attorney like me, we can sort of give you a general idea, well, I think this is going to happen when we go to court, knowing that every judge is different, every county's different, every litigant's different, every party is different, but at least we have this structure of we know what the judge is required to look at, so we can give you an idea, again, based on somebody like me or other very experienced attorneys doing hundreds and hundreds of these cases over the last 25 years, this is probably what's going to happen. So based on that, we try to resolve it. We try to agree, come to a compromise. If we can't come to a compromise, then we represent you, we go to court, we fight as hard as we can for your side, and ultimately a judge will make a decision. So those are the factors that the court considers when determining alimony. If you have any questions about that, give me a call. If you want to set up a consultation, I'm always here. You can email me through my website. You give me a call at the office. I'll be happy to help you.